Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And of course, with technology, there's always going to be something. We wanted today to be a very intimate experience, so we decided to go live. So thanks for bearing with us. So we're here today to discuss creating impact and change through storytelling and the application of equalizing technology. And it deals mostly with remote learning and community storytelling for underrepresented and disadvantaged groups. So I thank all of you for joining us here today. Distinguished speakers, excellencies, your royal highnesses, there is no greater time than now for our collective power and voices to ring true. There is immeasurable value in storytelling, and there is a purpose we all serve in ensuring the resources necessary to keep this life-changing art form alive are available to the very disadvantaged groups across our planet, whose talents beg to be unveiled, if only they are given that coveted platform. I'm always pleased for the support of others as I go about the work of empowering lives, but today, on this special day that recognizes the women of the world, I'm bubbling with excitement that you have all taken the time to support this timely forum. Storytelling is a distinguished art form that is practiced across cultures as a powerful tool to connect people to their past as they try to make sense of their now and envision the world they want for themselves and their descendants. It is a very useful exercise that enlightens and excites, that creates purpose and identifies change makers that can stoke painful memories and yet bring comfort. We dare not lose our connection with the past, or else we compromise the very future we look to. In fact, our human race is shaped by the stories we tell, and we must be mindful of the duty we have as global citizens to document these stories for posterity and to ensure the integrity of these stories is not compromised. The unforeseen global economic impact that has come about, in part due to the pandemic, has unearthed many stark realities from one continent to the next. And while the power to influence government policies that affect the very least among us takes time, our voices and our actions can influence meaningful change now, starting with the advocacy we make in forums like today's. Despite social inequities and because of them, we need to ensure there is consistent support for storytelling across all available media. It is social media that has played an integral role in information sharing, whether falsely or accurately. One cannot discount the power of this modern day platform, and therein lies an opportunity to tell the stories that shape the lives of our people, while creating impact that will drive change across political and socioeconomic realities. We can ensure the narrative of this pandemic reflects truth and imparts hope to those who have suffered indescribable loss during this moment in the history of our world. The technology that is connecting all and sundry to storytelling must find its way to each doorstep, each community, each country. The technology that brightens the light of hope for a little boy or little girl who is enthused by coding, gleeful at the sight of a confident dance, or enamored with a brilliant model, must not be denied to anyone whose story begs for a voice, an outlet, a space in the world where hope springs eternal, cannot be snuffed out. This event, like others I've organized through the Aspire Artemis Foundation in collaboration with many of our partners, focuses its lens on the ordinary people of the world who oftentimes are not valued, yet they possess such greatness and well up with such excitement about their lives that it reminds us how important each and every one of our people are. In fact, they are the very people who choose to challenge the systems that don't protect them or advocate for their causes. Their stories must be told. For those who cannot tell their stories, we must too choose to challenge the systems, institutions that beg to be overhauled. They can become the watchdogs for the world they were created to be rather than the institutions of destruction that they fear becoming. That is why I often speak of my confidence in the fact that narratives are often shaped for us if we do not take an active role in shaping them ourselves. The irony of today's event is manifested in the various talents showcased today. All of our participants tell a story through their respective presentation. All of their stories will be shared via a social media platform driven by the power of technology, and all of these stories will be a fixture of our future for those who will come after us. A telling testimony of our lives, truth, which demands that we cherish these talents and gifts, and we work diligently to continue the traditions of passing the art form of storytelling through various mediums, from one generation to the next. Today, as we celebrate women and their contributions to the story of creation and existence, may we also celebrate how fortunate we are to overcome these challenges this life brings us, as we journey purposefully to fulfill the hopes and dreams of our ancestors, mindful that once we have life, we have a duty to keep dreaming and creating hope for generations to come. Thank you very much.
With the passing of Simon Okelo's mother in 2020, this film has taken on a new meaning, highlighting the power, strength, and resilience of a woman, her story, and the potential to leave a lasting footprint that echoes globally. Her work lives on through her son Simon, who continues to inspire and empower youth in slums across Africa through arts, culture, and music. The film director, Wael Abou Zaki, is president and creative director of Zaki Rose Corporation, a creative agency, production, and entertainment company. In his work, Abou Zaki brings to life to brands through video and music, and has partnered with companies such as Microsoft, the Human Society of the United States of America, Gatorade, McDonald's, Seattle Chamber of Commerce, One Vibe Africa, and iHeartMedia. Now, with much honor, I would like to invite the director of Madaraka and Simon Okelo. Mr. Simon Okelo is the founder and executive director of One Vibe Africa. They will discuss how stories can indeed change mindsets and lives.
Thank you so much for having us. This is
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is Simon. Well, it's nice to see you again. I don't know where to begin.
Nice to see you, man. Yeah. It's an honor to share the stage.
Yeah.
This is a powerful moment, for obviously International Women's Day, but to shine a light on Celine. So
right. Yeah, I'm grateful to Hermina and also to Emily and everyone that is involved with producing today's International Women's Day celebration. And I'm just grateful that we were able to share this body of work that took us about 3 years to create, and we didn't know that my mother, who is a wonderful ancestor now, we didn't know that she would be the center of it until we took the last trip.
The first trip we went and built the body. And I think I can provide a little context. Just us meeting, I think a lot of people ask that question, and I think when we met, it was because of your interest to capture video production for a festival that you were doing in Seattle. And I think within a few months' time, I think there was just a connection. For me, it was a cultural connection, understanding heritage and seeing a lot of who we are. Through the eyes of our families and the people before us, and I think within probably a month and a half, we got a trip, or we bought our tickets to Kenya, and playing for the documentary, and so that first trip was an incredibly powerful trip, and then obviously the second trip to make sure that the through line, the narrative about Celine, your mother, is make sure that it was captured respectfully in the way that we wanted to really display it in the film.
My mom, Celine, was quite a force to reckon with, and it's amazing that there are so many women like her that actually don't have a chance to be on documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sliver of the women in Africa and the African diaspora that are literally changing their communities. And also this is the story of women in other communities, whether it's Lebanon, where you originally come from, or here in the US. Women are always the ones who are moving the needle, but they're the ones whose stories are really not told enough. And when your story is not told, it's almost like you're not there.
Right. Yeah,
And
it was. I was just gonna say, growing up in a home of just incredibly powerful women, I was able to see that firsthand. And when we were in Kenya, it was obviously displayed on such a wide level, because we went to so many different places and worked with so many amazing women that were doing impactful work in a community.
Yeah, so when we also think about the idea of storytelling and the power of storytelling, which is part of why we wanted to have this conversation, the screening, is that I always think, and now I believe, since we produced this documentary and the impact it has had on me personally, on people that just had a small idea of the work that my mom has done and the work that I have done, this now brings it to life anywhere in the world, and I feel that your story is the most powerful thing that you can leave the world with. If you think about now, if you go from like the women who are doing the grind, similar to my mother, who was not so known like Wangari Maathai or Ellen Johnson Sirleaf or Greta Scott King, but she was on the ground doing the work. You find that the way that the story of the diaspora African women is being told is also part of it's part of the future of the world. The way that men also tell the stories of our women is a really important part of changing the narrative about Africa, and also just about where we want to change the world towards. So one of the reasons why I feel that we connected, Wael, was also because of the work you do with your mom and how connected and how similar your Lebanese culture is to the Kenyan and the African culture, and I just wanted to thank you, for.
Yeah, okay, I'll finish. I was just gonna say that the strength that I think you're totally right that connection was an important part. But to the point of what we leave behind in our stories, it really is that. And I think to tell a story respectfully, and we're kicking off International Women's Day, and we're two men, right? We're obviously very aware of that, and we're not necessarily trying to speak for women by any means. But I think the reason why it was an important, and one, I'm honored for us to kick off the program, but because women were such a powerful and positive force in our life. And a lot of people will look at whether it's my hair or like how I laugh at certain things, and I always say, well, it's because of my mom, but that's such an indelible part of, I think, our character, because women are, I always tell my friends, like, women are the most powerful creatures in the world, and I feel like they are Mother Nature. They are in the embodiment of a lot of who we are and who we're trying to constantly find. And I think if we go back to that and really just make time and are compassionate and graceful about it, I think we can find a lot of our truths and how we can distribute that information and give it to others.
That's true. And I just feel that I just feel that, if we go by the example of how we were able to do this, but also how literally there are quite a lot of women that were with us in every minute of us producing this, shout out to Meg Starker, shout out to, Lavender and Violet and,
Infinite and
Infinite. Yeah. There were literally a lot of women that, took pictures, shot videos, helped us figure out logistics, and it was just a lot of work that we are not doing it justice by being the faces that you see, especially on International Women's Day. So it's really humbling to be here, and I just want to thank the producers of this event, especially Hermina Johnny, for all the work that she's doing. I'm so happy that we were able to connect, and I'm also grateful for the entire Aspire Artemis Foundation leadership and community for inviting us to be a part of this, and we are looking forward to continued collaboration with all of you. El, do you have more thoughts?
Simon, I was just gonna say, looking back at it now, obviously, I think this is the first time we've screened it since your mother's passing. I think for those who've seen the film, and we've done a few of these screenings before, it's like, how do you feel when you see it now? Through all the experiences that we've had, and kind of what does it make you want to do moving forward?
Yeah, I knew you'd ask me one of these questions. Well, for me, this film is now emotional. I have to tell you the truth. I turned it on and I looked away the whole time it was screening today. So it's too emotional to hear my mom's voice now. When we were doing it, she was still around. And so this was like the passing of the baton. This movie itself was like, you're asking me to be in a movie. I've never been in a movie before. So that's my mom speaking to me. But I'll give it to you because it's the last thing that I have to give you. I've given you everything else. Now it's up to you to do what you need to do with this, So, it shows me that the work we're doing is very important. Look at us right now. We are in the International Women's Day celebration. Who knew that we would ever be in this moment right here? So that alone shows me that I also have to figure out what baton I'll be passing. And that's my focus now. Thank you.
That's powerful. And it was just an honor to tell the story. To be on the ground, and be with so many great artists, and be with so many great people to help really weave this story and bring it together. So
right.
I would say that for those that who were moved by it, our goal, we have a site, but our goal is to continue the work and continue to tell stories. There's a lot of local filmmakers. We commissioned a lot of local Kenyan filmmakers to make that, and our goal was to empower them to be creators, to know that they can be creators, to put the camera in their hand. And so I would advise you, wherever you are, if there's somebody that that's interested, or if you're interested, just get out there and just start to kind of capture and look and kind of let your curiosity guide your journey.
Yeah, curiosity is really the way that we can evolve as humanity, because
right.
Because without curiosity, people like my mom, who is heavily featured on this documentary, her story would have never been told. And then again, to answer the last question you're asking, is how do I feel watching this now? We showed this film at my mother's funeral, not all of it, but just a section of it. And seeing her friends, her siblings that she grew up with, we put a big screen and, big PA system, the villagers that she grew up with, and how they wished they embraced her when she was around. It was such a powerful moment, And I wish we did that earlier. I
I
wish we.
didn't know that.
Oh my goodness, you have no idea. You have no idea the impact it had on me, just seeing people she worked with when she had her first job. They had her voice. It was all just so crazy, but I'm just grateful that we did that to a woman like her. There's nobody that deserves this type of honor like her. Yeah.
Thank you so
And
much,
Hermina's joined us.
Wael and Simon. Our MC is having some issues rejoining the stage, so I would like to move ahead with the program. I really loved this talk about the documentary, how inspiring, how much one woman can inspire two men to tell her story. And this is the power and the impact of women. As you said, Wael, you're not directly a woman, but you're telling her story, so you're amplifying the voices of women. So thank you so much for that. And Simon, thank you for your bravery and your continued work to do work in your home country and in other slums across Africa to ensure that your mother's story lives on, your mother's work lives on, and that you continue to teach music and art to underprivileged youth across the globe. So thank you so much to the both of you for that.
Thank you, Hermina. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Hermina, for having us. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.